Olivia, I am she, and I made another ugly hat. This one's for St. Patrick's Day. Nobody's gonna wear it. Alright, what I have here is, okay, I started doing Melidora's hat, one of her hats. I forget what it's called. The children are directly in front of my house. Like, they're not even across the street. They're on my sidewalk playing. So I cannot make Ruger stop barking. I started doing Melidora's hat. And then I got bored. I didn't like the way the ridges were turning out. It looks better if you have variegated yarn like she has in her tutorial. But I don't have variegated yarn in these really ugly colors. So here I did the ridges, and then I did a double crochet white, and then up here I did a drop down. Looks really cool. I don't know what that stitch is called, and I don't know where I found that stitch, but it's really cool. And then just double crochet, then I threw in another ridge, and double, and then I started, I crocheted, okay, this is weird, I crocheted, this is an actual stitch too, I don't remember where I saw it, but when you crochet the mesh, and then it's a double crochet, a space, a double crochet, a space, a double crochet, chain one, and then you skip a space just to make mesh. And then I did a double crochet and crocheted inside that missing, that skipped space. So that created that effect. And then I think I just slip stitched along there, or back loop only, not sure, I don't remember. I was watching YouTube videos. I was watching all of you guys. Something, double crochet, or nope, those are half double crochets. And then I did a puff stitch all the way around, and then double crochet, and then a picket. Those are picket things, where I did a triple crochet, and then I crocheted it back into itself. So that's a picket, and then I just closed the hat with single crochet. So that is my latest ugly hat. There's no pattern for it, except for the one I made up, and it's just really, really super ugly, but it's ugly cool. So there's that. That's all I have made. I think I started another hat, but it's really boring. It's just orange right now. I was sitting on the couch on Sunday night, and Mark said something about having time off. And I said, funny you say that. I already scheduled April 18th through the 22nd off. And he said, we should go somewhere. And I said, no. Absolutely not. I'm not leaving this recliner for all of those days. 9 days? And he said, but honey, we should really go somewhere. And I said, no, vacation means I get to stay on my recliner for 9 days. And he said, well, what about New York? And I said, I would go to New York. And he goes, okay, but we have to stop in Wisconsin first because my grandmother is really old. And I said, okay. And he said, I'd like to see Boston. And I said, all right. And I said, well, since we'll be in Massachusetts, I'd like to see Salem. And he said, okay. And he goes, I would like to have Maine lobster in Maine. And I said, well, if we're going to drive to Maine, then we are going to go to Bangor, Maine, because Stephen King lives there. And I know his address. He's like, how do you know his address? It's on the internet. So, we're going to Wisconsin for 2 days. We're going to fly to New York City for 2 days. Then we are going to hang out there. We're going to take a cab to the airport and rent a car. And we're going to drive up to Boston. And then we're going to stay overnight. And then we're going to fly to New York City for 2 days. Then we are going to hang out there. We're going to take a cab to the airport and rent a car. And we're going to drive up to Boston. And we're going to stay overnight. And then we're going to fly to New York City for 2 days. Then we are going to take a cab to the airport and rent a car. And we're going to drive up to Boston. Massachusetts, and then go to Salem. And he said it's like a 4-hour drive from New York to Boston to Massachusetts. And then we're going to cut through Connecticut for that scenic route and drive up to Bangor, Maine, and have Maine lobster in Maine. And that knocks out meeting the rest of his family. I've always wanted to do. I don't know why it was on my bucket list. I haven't met his brothers. He has 2 brothers and his grandmother. So those are his only like relatives that he interacts with. So I've always wanted to go to New York City, and Boston not so much. But Salem, yes, for the Salem witch trials, and I want to go on the ghost tour, or if they have a ghost tour, and I want to go to the graveyards, and I want to go to the graveyard in New York City, and I'm sure they have multiple ones, but Mark will only go to one. We toured, well, not toured, every time we saw a graveyard in Ireland, we hung out there for at least an hour or 2. Also, when we're just driving anywhere, if we see a graveyard, we go. So thankfully, Mark is into graveyards just like me, because I love them. Because that's where I'm going to be for all eternity. I already have my graveyard picked out. I want to have a burial plot. Gravestones and an actual grave, those are like 25 grand. So I just want my ashes to be in a great... I want to be buried at Bunker Memorial. So I love that place. I will show you guys that place. Probably not, because it's really morbid. So I'm going to, segue into the new channel. I will, when I go to Bunker, oh my god, I'm exciting myself. Why is Ruger so quiet? Okay. I'm not going to question it too much. So I have another channel. What was I talking about? Graves. I want to go to Graveyard, Salem, Massachusetts, and then, of course, see Stephen King's house because he's my husband. Mark does not know that. I call him my husband. So, if you guys ever meet Mark in real life, don't say, Stephen King, your husband, because then every time I read a Stephen King book, he's going to think I'm lusting after Stephen King. That's how he is. I told him I had a girl crush on Christina Aguilera, so now whenever she comes on the TV, he changes the channel. So, he cannot know about Stephen King. He just knows he's my favorite author. That's all. He does not know that we're spiritually married without Stephen King's consent. Okay? Okay. Okay? Okay. Alright. So, the other channel I have is called Always Haunted. That's it. There's nothing else. No numbers, no other letters, just the word always and the word haunted. I'm not sure if I put a space in there. I think I did put a space in there. Always Haunted. That's my paranormal channel. There's not much up there. It started out as an ASMR channel, and I failed at life at that because of Ruger. And it's not quiet enough around this whole neighborhood to do those videos, even though I love watching them. Oh my gosh, they put me to sleep. Gentle Whispering. I love that girl. Masha. She's Russian. And she puts me in a trance and I can fall right to sleep watching her videos. That's what they're created for falling asleep. So, I can't do those videos because Ruger is a whack job and my neighbors are super loud all the time. So, I have paranormal stories, my own personal ghost stories that have happened to me. And I know I have promised a lot of you that I would not tell my ghost stories on this channel because it's like a vlogging, crafty channel. Even though I don't do many crafts anymore, I still do. I mean, I have all this yarn and I have to use it. I mean, I was gonna grab yarn, but that like yarn would fall. So, wow, that light over there is so dull, but in the video it's coming out like the sun. Whatever. So, I promised you guys that I won't tell my ghost stories because you guys are not into it, you don't believe it, you're afraid of them, I don't know, but I've respected it as much as I can. So I created a brand new channel, and it's just me sitting on a stool telling my ghost stories. Well, one of the stories, I'm like laughing hysterically over the death of our evil dog, Murphy. And a lot of people find that offensive, even though they've never met Murphy, and he was truly evil. He was biting everybody in America. Us, other dogs, himself, doors. He was just a terrible dog. Terrible dog. But he died a terrible, horrible death. And I don't know why, whenever I talk about his death, I find it hilarious. Not like funny haha, but oh my gosh. It's... But a lot of people would find that offensive, so I'm going to take that one down and edit out the hysterical laughter. But I trust you guys not to judge me in my... I also laugh at funerals, okay? And I love funerals. I hate weddings. I will not go to a wedding. But funerals, I am there. And I actually thought about volunteering to be a griever for people who don't have friends and stuff. So... I'm just weird. Not crazy, I'm just weird. People who are crazy don't know they're crazy, but I know I'm not crazy, so you're gonna have to take my word for it, and I'm still free. I'm still free to walk around. Nobody has locked me up, so that's good. And, whew. So I have videos, bam, 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 and this channel will still be exactly the same. Except when I see something, I'm not going to say something. So I will say something on my other channel. So you're more than welcome to go to my other channel if you... God, that looks so pretty, that latchhook rug. Why am I having so much trouble? Though so pretty. It was just a disaster to make. It was like a waste of my life. But it turned out really pretty. Oh. And I think that is about it. So I get to travel in April and knock out like most of my bucket list. After that, I want to go to Italy, and I would want to go to Greece, but I don't know if they're so crazy over there. But all of this might be a moot point if Kim Jong-il, whatever his name is, if he decides to nuke us in America. So, because that's what he said he was going to do, and he's crazy, but he said he was going to do that, so I might just... Whew, where has he been all this time? Why am I so out of breath? Whew, okay. I'm going to go, because I've talked myself into a slight asthma attack, and I have to start going to make tacos, and oh my gosh. Alright, so this video is going to be thrown up in the middle of next week. I think I have videos set on this channel to release on Wednesdays, but like recent ones, like the ones that you're watching lately were filmed in like January and February. Today's March 8th. So I have a lot of videos that I just haven't gotten around to editing yet, and that is because I've been playing Farmville, and I also want to use iMovie on my my Mac, and it's way more in depth than on my iPad. I've mastered the iPad, but it is completely different on the actual Mac. So I've been watching tutorials, YouTube I'm aspirating my own spit now. YouTube tutorials on how to use iMovie for a Mac, on an actual Mac computer. So that's what I've been doing. Learning and playing Farmville, and that's it. With my whole life. And making that ugly hat. It's gonna stay in this room for the rest of its eternal life. Alright, well, thank you for watching. Have a wonderful everything, and perhaps I will see you on another day. Bye!